All right, and we're back. So just like I said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some alts today as well. I'm basically just going to do the ones that I already have marked on my chart. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of coins and stuff like that. I'm going to do like major layer 2 protocols, and maybe some DeFi things. Like I'll check out AXS and stuff, but like your algos, your links, your big ones, FTT, DOT, Sol. And we'll take a look at them real quick. I'm not going to name all of them in the thumbnail. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, you guys get the idea. Hopefully this will help you guys out. I feel like doing this is better than a chart because it's actually me talking about it, and I can say way more in a video than I can type in a Discord message. So let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. We'll go ahead and get these done real quick. Let's go. All right, so number one on the list is I'm going to start with Algo. Okay, so I'm going to look at every single one of these on the daily chart. Okay, high time frame stuff. I'm looking for spot dollar cost averaging opportunities. I'm looking for major, the ones that haven't broken down on the high time frames yet. I'm looking for changes in price structure, changes in overall volume, stuff like that. So just a heads up, if you're like a degen and you only trade on the 5 to 15 minute chart, just give me a like and subscribe as a thanks for the attempt, but no thanks, because you're more into degenning. I'm more into dollar cost averaging and just holding on spot. I don't trade alts with leverage. I don't really do that very often. If I do, it's low time frames just to get in and out, and it's not like an everyday thing for me. Most of these you'll see I already have price structure labeled. Most of these I just play support and resistances and stuff. In addition to volume and some basic indicators like I do on the high time frames for Bitcoin. This is no different. Okay, so we do have our RSI here on Algo sitting in the lower half. Same deal here, bearish MACD crossing bearish and bearish territory, mostly bearish volume through here. Okay, so as a high right here, basically retesting all-time high support and getting rejected. Getting rejected the first time is pretty acceptable, which is why I feel a little more comfortable starting to average in at about this like dollar area. Okay, so this is a good first level to be looking at here. This major level of support between, what is this? I guess like $1.20 and $1.30 in that 10 cents area is really good. However, anything in my opinion below $1 certainly, but at or around $1 to $1.15 is probably going to be my first dollar cost average entry for this. Below that, I'm looking for $1, certainly $1 and under. But if anything was to happen like this, where this just turned into like a massive head and shoulders here, or something like this rather. Okay, and then we started coming down to retest these lows. This area down here would definitely be my next opportunity for laddering and stuff. Anything in this area here, so between like 50 and 75 cents. Okay, I know that those are big zones. That's why I was saying like this is daily charting. I'm looking for average prices, really big, mental numbers like $1 and stuff like that. To be going in on some of these that I want to start, growing the current bags that I already have of. So that's pretty much Algo. Let's hop over to the next one, which is AXS. Yes, I am going to take a look at this. I do think that metaverse and gaming and all that stuff is going to be a huge, huge industry. Is it really there with Axie? No, probably not. I think it's probably going to go more in the route of like really professionally done games. We already know that it's going to happen, guys, right? Microsoft bought Activision and all of that to start introducing metaverse stuff and, like VR and all of that. We know that it's going in that direction. Is a little crappy 2D game or, DeFi Kingdom or Axie Infinity really going to be that popular? No, it's probably going to end up evolving more into like the phone or the mobile kind of platforms for the play to earn stuff. Certainly not the major, like if you're into games, what the game of the year, like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty or something like those are the big titles. Like that's where this is going. Is Axie Infinity that? No. Does it have good fundamentals as a game and something that's being made that's utilizing this kind of technology? Yeah, absolutely. In spirit of that, yeah, I like it as a project. I think it's got good fundamentals. It sure as hell has a good team. So there is this level here. I don't know why this is black, but let's drag this over. There we go. Okay. So this is our major support at the end of the day. This is a very, very large area of demand here. Anybody that can get Axie under 50 bucks is going to get it. I think that it's over. Where's my indicators? I do think that it's overvalued here. I do not think, I guess basically what I'm saying is I think that our top is in. The reason why I'm saying that is on this daily chart here, obviously Axie is a pretty new kind of coin, but we've just got this kind of price action, right? And we saw this on Bitcoin when we had that first big drop where Bitcoin kept making newer and newer highs, and it was like kind of making this sweeping top. Meanwhile, the high time frame RSI was just like divergence, 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 and just yelling at us. I think that this is only the beginning of the reaction of this overall divergence through all of this, and we're only really just turning the corner here. So I think that pops that we get are going to start showing hidden bearish or bearish divergence on these. So we're going to get a higher high on the RSI here, but we're going to get a lower high compared to here and reject and keep grinding down. So the areas that I'm interested in, again, this is just, everything that we chart is, it's all speculation, right? This is all speculation. But if we wanted to go ahead and put like a lower box of where I would be interested, it would probably be in this area here. Okay. This would probably be the next area of interest for me. So this is between basically 47 and 50 bucks. Really nice in here. There's also some pretty well-defined levels in here as well in terms of like a midline. Like right in here is a pretty good mid area for this. We'll go ahead and put our dashed line on there, okay, to denote that as a midline. So all of that stuff is looking really, really good to me. This is a really clear rejection area. I've had this level drawn for quite some time. And this was a clear rejection here. So if getting into shorts in Axie is your thing, I know that everybody trying to do that at the beginning, they got burned, they got burned, they got burned again, trying to short Axie the entire way up. I don't know why people were trying to short it. They had nonstop announcements and stuff. But anything below this would be a pretty serious correction, in my opinion. That's when you're talking about an entire, certainly below here, below like 37, 35 bucks. Then you're talking about an entire price structure break. This little area here is not going to hold. And you're talking about coming like super, super deep, as most alts did in the early days. Okay. So I don't necessarily think that Axie is overvalued. But I do think that with the amount of divergence and with the way that the volume and stuff is looking on this higher time frame here, the bullish volume just completely disappeared. As soon as this last push, that was it. Most big market makers and players, they exited in here. This was distribution. And it's very obvious because from here, it was all increasing. And the bullish volume that we have had has been very, very tiny and slowly decreasing. So I think there is a good chance for this to come lower. If you're looking to get into Axie, you could try doing a small buy here if you're going to dollar cost average, on spot. But I'm personally like waiting for $50 and under minimum before I even start considering dollar cost averaging into this. I only traded this on leveraged for quick scalps this entire bull market. So now I'm looking to physically accumulate it on spot once the prices start cooling off. Okay. Polkadot. There we go. So Polkadot is also, we finally did break down into one of our lower ranges here. Okay. So this is now a support. This is now our resistance. And we do have some levels below us as well. This can actually get moved down a little bit to like here. I kind of like this better as a range. I use log when I chart. I always have. I find that ends up being a little more accurate as long as you set up your fib levels the right way. That's another note, by the way, guys, quick alpha tip. Make sure that when you draw a fib and you're measuring, if you chart on log, make sure that you go into the settings and you make sure that this box is checked that says fib levels based on log scale. That option will only be there if your chart is on log scale, but make sure that that's checked. Like, don't uncheck it. See how drastically that changes the levels. Okay. Make sure that this is checked so you're getting correct levels. Okay, I can't stress that enough. But anyway, really good confluence down here, just below the 618. Normally alts correct a little more anyway, so I'm really comfortable with where this where this next level of like major support is. So this level down here that I have as a dotted line, this is like you're going into a bear market. Okay, so that would be a complete reversal, complete break of this overall structure up here. But in general, any higher lows on these daily timeframes that can hold this level, I'm super bullish on. I would love to be able to get in on Polkadot. I mean, under $25, I think is already going to be really good. Polkadot's doing a lot of things. However, we can always strive for lower, right? I would love to be hitting this under 20 bucks, like the $15, $20 area as like long-term bids. Anything under that, I would be a huge buyer. For right now, I'm shooting for the 20s. I want to see 20. I want to see 15, and put in like a really nice higher low off of this. If we measure just this last move that we've had to the top side, we've retraced about 50%. So I would be expecting this to come a little deeper, at least to this midline, to be retesting these levels in here first. If we measure the entire structure from the very, very beginning to the top, which you can do as well, this support line lines right up with 382. I didn't just do that. I'm just finding that out now. I don't think I've ever measured the whole thing, but that is very solid right there. So that is definitely a huge level of interest around with this level here. This wick is exactly the 618. So in case we were going to see a major reversal in trend and see like a slow bleed or something, if that was the case, those are super, super solid targets when you measure the entire structure. So great historical targets here, really good confluence with the price action. I like it a lot. Do we have any? Yeah, tons of naked points of control down here in our first support area, in our second major area, as well as our third. So really nice confluence here with these levels. I like this a lot. FTM. Everybody's been talking about FTM. This has been absolutely crazy with how this chart has been playing out. This is another one that I actually kind of wish I would have traded more. Huge run on the top side. Bull flag, breakout. Bull flag, breakout. Now, this is probably where I'd be saying, okay, with so many of these larger caps, they're starting to get exhausted. Again, here on this chart, you can see this entire time, okay, from here all the way to where we're at now. We had our first high here, great run up. Then we had another huge run up, a higher high. This was good, okay? Buying this dip was the good thing. This high here, coming this much further and then making a lower high, huge red flag. Pivoting here and then making a lower high compared to this right here, huge red flag. Okay, we double topped basically on the RSI here. So all of this high, lower high, like all of this coming through here is really not good. So that tells me this is going to start playing out. We're probably going to start turning over here. It looks like this has had its fun here with this last blast. Very similar to what Bitcoin did. But again, even on this most recent move to the top side, we've gotten equal high here is basically, if you draw a straight line, we've basically gotten equal highs on our MACD as well. So that is concerning. I do think that FTM is probably going to be flipping over here. I think that it's going to start running out of steam. Am I bearish on FTM long term? No, of course I'm not. There's a lot of great things coming to the Phantom platform. There's a lot of integrations that are being made. The fundamentals are there. The team is there. This is it's a pretty solid mid to high cap coin. Measuring for targets to the downside, if you're looking to dollar cost average, again, that's what we're talking about here. This is a really solid area down here between your 382 and your 0.5. So this would probably be the first area of me. And then normally what I do is the same thing. I look for those really deep retracements when everyone starts getting scared, puking their long-term positions, selling their longs that they bought up here at a loss and saying, oh, fuck, it's going to die. But then it makes a higher low at the 786 and it goes for another leg to the top side. This would definitely be your prime opportunity here, is like 25 to 30 cents. But your golden pocket is right at 50 cents, which is good. Now that is a huge drop from $2 percentage wise. I will tell you that you're talking about 80% just to the 0.5. So that's why I'm saying this 382 in the overall price action, it doesn't look very deep because it's only 38%. But for the physical price to drop that far, the percentage for the price to go down there is like 63%. So obviously, we know that the price can go down 63% and then go down another 120%. That's the way math works. That's definitely a good first target for me. I have no interest in this up here. If anything, if I owned it or I was trading it on leverage, until we start closing above whatever this 350 mark is up here, I guess that's the all-time high abouts is like 350. I'm looking for shorts in this zone. Again, flip your chart upside down once in a while. Give you the perspective, right? If this was a downtrend this entire time and you were buying these dips for scalps, you bought a dip, you longed it, you made out. You double tapped the resistance, you shorted it. Huge move. Higher and higher high, divergence, you shorted the resistance, huge move. Rejection at previous support, another move to the downside. Then you made a lower high here. So what do we got? We've got this trend line right here. Support level, since we've got our chart upside down right now. Okay. Technically, this is resistance here. Okay. You've got a nice midline here in this range here. So that's kind of your situation with this if you flip your chart upside down. Okay. So this would be technically, if we were pretending that the chart wasn't flipped upside down right now, this is how this would look. Okay. You get the point. This would be red. Okay. And we'd be playing it like this. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a long here to bounce up and at least be breaking these highs to start moving up and retesting this trend line as well as these highs. Okay. So, that's kind of what we would be looking for on this move. If I flip the chart, if I change these and I flip this chart back over, we're looking to short here. We're looking for a break of this low and or the median line to retest this ascending trend line as well as our two support levels. Okay. Our intraday support level here, and then our major daily support, demand zone right here. Okay. So that would be your play. All right. That's how I do these short setups. I've been doing this more often. And, I recommend once in a while flipping your chart upside down. If you flip your chart upside down and it looks like a long to you, you're probably not inverted. It might mean that you're probably longing into resistance. We'll take a look at FTT real quick. Again, same thing. We've been hovering around this major demand zone. Right now, we are making a move to the top side. This is going to be a really important test up here at about $50. Again, really big mental number. This is the kind of thing where, again, you've got another huge trend line to the downside here. I'm not really interested unless, on the higher time frames, we start seeing, something like this, maybe a little curl up or a consolidation here, and then a breakout of that to start retesting this level and then start retesting that was terrible. These all-time highs. Okay. And again, depending on the volume, that's probably going to be a short for me at resistance here. Okay. You got to trade smart, trade what the price action is telling you. Don't trade what crypto Twitter is telling you. These are very basic setups, especially if you're trading these on spot, you're trading them higher time frame. You're not looking at these positions every day. You don't care. They're on a different exchange than what you're trading leverage with, which is what I recommend. That way you don't with your spot positions all day long and mess them up. Let's go to Link. It's probably the same deal. We've been in this, Jesus Christ, look at this, this massive daily channel that we've had. I've had this drawn literally for almost a year. Okay. And we're still battling in this channel. Price action takes time. Okay. Price action takes time. Now I know most of you are like, oh, he's charting boomer coins and high cap things that don't move. Well, the high cap things are the ones that you want to trade and hold and accumulate for the long term, because those are the ones that are going to keep your portfolio curve at a nice even or a more even curve than it would be if you're just sitting there degenning on 5-minute low cap coins all day and it's going like this or just straight down. So be very careful with those things. Okay. Link, same thing. I know that I don't like accumulating midlines, but I mean, this is looking a little juicy here for me. Okay, we already tested our 886. We never closed below our golden pocket. Any retests of this, I'm probably, if I don't have a lot of Link, which I do, but if I didn't, I'm trying to buy this trend line here. Okay, this would be a trend line that I would attempt to buy. And if we popped, okay, then I'm looking at this being a bear flag, selling it at this 236, and then buying it back lower. Again, down here, if we're going to continue and break this structure here. Okay, so, these are the setups that you can look for. You got to play the market both ways. You got to look for the big divergences on the high time frames, and you have to take these high time frames into account, and especially the volume, your volume down here into account when you're looking at these. This looks like one little quick blip of bearish volume here. Okay, you have to take all these things into account. So, this would be probably a buy for me in these areas. Certainly under $20. Link. Let me tell you guys something. Link is not going anywhere. It might be a slower mover. It might be a dinosaur coin. Okay, you guys can all make fun of me and call me a boomer in the chat. But guess what? At the end of the day, this is how most of your majors are going to start trading on the high time frames. This is what they're going to start looking. They're going to start looking like Forex tokens. They're going to start looking like stables. They're going to start moving slower and in lower increments, much like the stock market does on a day-to-day basis, because there's more volume in them. And that volume is only going to grow higher and higher. That is a good thing, okay? Because those are your long-term things. You trade the short-term things that you're trading on leverage, those are the low caps. Okay, those are the low caps. Those are the riskier plays. You only should have a small portion of your portfolio allocated to be doing that with. MATIC is another one of those that has had just an absolutely ridiculous run up. And now I feel like this is pretty much going to be the range that we're in on our macro. Okay, I know that this is a very large range. However, at the end of the day, in terms of value, you're not talking that much. But I know that if I measure this, it's probably a huge percentage. Yeah, it's like 88%. Altcoins are known for dropping 80 to 100% and or going close to zero after runs like this. So I'm comfortable seeing something like this. Now, this move up, okay? I know that all of you are saying, oh, it's a cup and handle. It's a cup and handle. Yes, okay, I know. If it comes down into here and we test this midline or whatever and we hold that, it has the potential to be a continuation pattern. I do understand that. 236 is the support that we've already tested, but then you've got 382 at this wick here, way down at 900, basically 1,000 sats. Midline, 0.5 of the move is your major demand, weekly demand, okay? At about 550 sats, or I guess anywhere between 500 and 600, right? If we measure just this move, okay, if you're planning on doing it, if you're planning on doing a cup and handle, right? You measure from the bottom of the trough, okay, to the top of this side. Now, this is a proposed other side, okay? We don't know yet. We don't have confirmation on this because some of these levels of support, like the one that we're at right now in here, has not broken down yet. But if they do, in general, the typical rule of thumb for classical charting patterns like this is you don't want to see in a cup and handle, you don't want to see the price for the handle go close 2 bars or more below the 0.5. If you do that, it's invalidated. It's not going to continue. Chances are you make a lower high here, reject, and then it's over. And then you break structure. Okay, that's what a failed cup and handle happens with that. Now, in terms of a retracement, if you're shorting, this is a really good target, 618. Certainly the 0.5 would be the invalidation of the cup and handle. That's probably where you take half profit, move your stop to into profit, and then let this ride in anticipation of losing some of these support levels. However, if this level does hold, the way that you would be measuring the next move to the top side in an extension would be to use the extension tool. Measure from the bottom of the cup's trough to the top of the handle, project it against the bottom of the handle, which for ease of math, we'll use, I guess, 3,400 sats. So equal highs would be the golden pocket, and then your extension targets, your first one would be up here at about 94.40, 94.50. Anyway, guys, I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Hope that clears some things up for you guys. It's a lot easier for me to do that instead of typing all of these thoughts out and then copying and pasting the charts into like all the different discords I'm in, including my own with like extra little alpha and stuff like that. If you guys want the free alpha, feel free to visit the website, join the premium group. I do give out that free alpha in the Discord. I don't give it out to everybody, just premium members and stuff. Check all the links in the description below for the algo, and stay tuned for, I think I'll do the video for Friday about actually getting set up on astrobit.io and all of that good stuff. So until Friday, I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and happy trading.